Chapter 31. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward you shall be gathered to your people. Moses spoke to the people, saying, Arm men from among you for the war, that they may go out against Midian, to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian. Of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel shall you send to the war. So there were delivered, out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. Moses sent them, 1,000 of every tribe to the war, them and Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest to the war, with the vessels of the sanctuary, and the trumpets for the alarm in his hand. They warred against Midian as the Lord commanded Moses, and they killed every male. They killed the kings of Midian with the rest of their slain, Evi and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also the son of Beor they killed with the sword. The children of Israel took captive the women of Midian and their little ones, and all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods they took for a spoil. All their cities and the places in which they lived, and all their encampments they burnt with fire. They took all the spoil, and all the prey, both of man and of animal. They brought the captives and the prey and the spoil to Moses, and to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by the Jordan at Jericho. Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them outside of the camp. Moses was angry with the officers of the host, the captains of thousands, and the captains of hundreds, who came from the service of the war. Moses said to them, Have you saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Baal Peor, and so the plague was among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known man by lying with him. But all the girls who have not known man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Encamp outside of the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any person, and whoever has touched any slain, purify yourselves on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, you and your captives. As to every garment, and all that is made of skin, and all the work of goat's hair, and all these things made by wood, you shall purify yourselves. Eleazar the priest said to the men of war who went to the battle, This is the statute of the law which the Lord has commanded Moses. However, the gold and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, you shall make go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water for impurity. And all that doesn't withstand the fire you shall make go through the water. You shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and you shall be clean, and afterward you shall come into the camp. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Take the sum of the spoil that was taken, both of man and animal, you and Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the congregation, and divide the spoil into 2 parts, between the men skilled at war, who went out to battle, and all the congregation. Levy a tribute to the Lord of the men of war who went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the oxen, and of the donkeys, and of the flocks. Take it of their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest, for the Lord's heave offering. Of the children of Israel's half, you shall take 1 drawn out of every 50, of the persons, of the oxen, of the donkeys, and of the flocks, even of all the cattle, and give them to the Levites, who keep the charge of the tent of the Lord. Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. Now the spoil, over and above the bounty which the men of war took, was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 oxen, and 71,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, of the women who had not known man by lying with him. The half, which was the portion of those who went out to war, was in number 337,500 sheep, and the Lord's tribute of the sheep was 675. The oxen were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 72. The donkeys were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 61. The persons were 16,000, of whom the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. Moses gave the tribute, which was the Lord's heave offering, to Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. Of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided off from the men who warred, now the congregation's half was 337,500 sheep, and 36,000 oxen, and 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel's half, Moses took one drawn out of every 50, both of man and of animal, and gave them to the Levites, who kept the charge of the tent of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. The officers who were over the thousands of the host, the captains of thousands, and the captains of hundreds came near to Moses, and they said to Moses, Your servants have taken the sum of the men of war who are under our charge, and there lacks not one man of us. We have brought the Lord's offering, what every man has gotten, of jewels of gold, ankle chains and bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and armlets, to make atonement for our souls before the Lord. Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold from them, even all worked jewels. All the gold of the heave offering that they offered up to the Lord, of the captains of thousands, and of the captains of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil every man for himself. Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of meeting, for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. Chapter 32. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that behold, the place was a place for cattle, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moses, and to Eleazar the priest, and to the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, and Dibon, and Jazer, and Nimrah, and Heshbon, and Eleah, and Sebam, and Nebo, and Beon, the land which the Lord struck before the congregation of Israel, is a land for cattle, and your servants have cattle. They said, If we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Don't bring us over the Jordan. Moses said to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, Shall your brothers go to the war, and shall you sit here? Why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord has given them? Thus did your fathers, when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the valley of Eshcol, and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which the Lord had given them. The Lord's anger was kindled in that day, and he swore, saying, Surely none of the men who came up out of Egypt, from 20 years old and upward, shall see the land which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, because they have wholly followed the Lord. The Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander back and forth in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation who had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. Behold, you are risen up in your father's place, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord toward Israel. For if you turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all this people. They came near to him and said, We will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will be ready armed to go before the children of Israel, until we have brought them to their place, and our little ones shall dwell in the fortified cities, because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our houses, until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and forward, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this side of the Jordan eastward. Moses said to them, If you will do this thing, if you will arm yourselves to go before the Lord to the war, and every armed man of you will pass over the Jordan before the Lord, until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before the Lord, then afterward you shall return, and be guiltless towards the Lord and towards Israel, and this land shall be to you for a possession before the Lord. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do that which has proceeded out of your mouth. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moses, saying, Your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But your servants will pass over, every man who is armed for war before the Lord to battle, as my Lord says. So Moses gave charge concerning them to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel. Moses said to them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over the Jordan, every man who is armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Lord has said to your servants, so we will do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, and the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us beyond the Jordan. Moses gave to them, even to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land, according to the cities of it with their borders, even the cities of the land round about. The children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer, and Atrothshaphan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah, and Beth-Nimrah, and Beth-Haran, fortified cities, and folds for sheep. The children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elelah, and Kiriathaim, and Nebo, and Baal-Meon, their names being changed, and Sibnah, and they gave other names to the cities which they built. The children of Machir the son of Manasseh went to Gilead and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were there. Moses gave Gilead to Machir the son of Manasseh, and he lived there. Jair the son of Manasseh went and took its towns, and called them Havoth-Jair. Nobah went and took Kenath and the villages, and called it Nobah, after his own name. Chapter 33. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, when they went forth out of the land of Egypt by their host under the hand of Moses and Aaron. Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their goings out. They traveled from Ramses in the 1st month, on the 15th day of the 1st month. On the next day after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians, while the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck among them. On their gods also the Lord executed judgments. The children of Israel traveled from Ramses and encamped in Succoth. They traveled from Succoth and encamped in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. They traveled from Etham and turned back to Pihar-Hiroth, which is before Baal-Zephon, and they encamped before Migdol. They traveled from before Hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and they went 3 days' journey into the wilderness of Etham and encamped at Marah. They traveled from Marah and came to Elam, and in Elam were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there. They traveled from Elam and encamped by the Red Sea. They traveled from the Red Sea and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. They traveled from the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dophkah. They traveled from Dophkah and encamped in Alush. They traveled from Alush and encamped in Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They traveled from Rephidim and encamped in the wilderness of Sinai. They traveled from the wilderness of Sinai and encamped in Kibroth-Hattaavah. They traveled from Kibroth-Hattaavah and encamped in Hazeroth. They traveled from Hazeroth and encamped in Rithmah. They traveled from Rithmah and encamped in Rimmon-Perez. They traveled from Rimmon-Perez and encamped in Libnah. They traveled from Libnah and encamped in Risa. They traveled from Risa and encamped in Kehelatha. They traveled from Kehelatha and encamped in Mount Shafir. They traveled from Mount Shafir and encamped in Haradah. They traveled from Haradah and encamped in Machaloth. They traveled from Machaloth and encamped in Tahath. They traveled from Tahath and encamped in Terah. They traveled from Terah and encamped in Mithkah. They traveled from Mithkah and encamped in Hashmonah. They traveled from Hashmonah and encamped in Moseroth. They traveled from Moseroth and encamped in Ben-Jacan. They traveled from Ben-Jacan and encamped in Hor-Hagadad. They traveled from Hor-Hagadad and encamped in Jotbathah. They traveled from Jotbathah and encamped in Abrona. They traveled from Abrona and encamped in Ezion-Geber. They traveled from Ezion-Geber and encamped in the wilderness of Sin, the same as Kadesh. They traveled from Kadesh and encamped in Mount Hor, in the edge of the land of Edom. Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor at the commandment of the Lord and died there, in the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 5th month, on the 1st day of the month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. The Canaanite, the king of Arad, who lived in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. They traveled from Mount Hor and encamped in Zalmonah. They traveled from Zalmonah and encamped in Punon. They traveled from Punon and encamped in Oboth. They traveled from Oboth and encamped in Ayi-Abarim, in the border of Moab. They traveled from Ayim and encamped in Dibon-Gad. They traveled from Dibon-Gad and encamped in Almon-Diblathaim. They traveled from Almon-Diblathaim and encamped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. They traveled from the mountains of Abarim and encamped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. They encamped by the Jordan, from Beth-Jesimoth even to Abel-Shittim, in the plains of Moab. The Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their figured stones, and destroy all their molten images, and demolish all their high places. And you shall take possession of the land and dwell there. For to you have I given the land to possess it. You shall inherit the land by lot, according to your families. To the more you shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer you shall give the less inheritance. Wherever the lot falls to any man, that shall be his. According to the tribes of your fathers shall you inherit. But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then shall those who you let remain of them be as pricks in your eyes, and as thorns in your sides, and they shall vex you in the land in which you dwell. It shall happen that as I thought to do to them, so will I do to you. Chapter 34. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and tell them, When you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan according to its borders. Then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Sin, along by the side of Edom, and your south border shall be from the end of the salt sea eastward. And your border shall turn about southward of the ascent of Akbarabim, and pass along to Sin, and the goings out of it shall be southward of Kadesh Barnea, and it shall go forth to Hazar Adar, and pass along to Asmon. And the border shall turn about from Asmon to the brook of Egypt, and the goings out of it shall be at the sea. For the western border you shall have the great sea, and the border, this shall be your west border. This shall be your north border. From the great sea you shall mark out for you Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you shall mark out to the entrance of Hamath, and the goings out of the border shall be at Zedad. And the border shall go forth to Ziphron, and the goings out of it shall be at Hazar Enan. This shall be your north border. You shall mark out your east border from Hazar Enan to Shephem, and the border shall go down from Shephem to Riblah, on the east side of Ain, and the border shall go down, and shall reach to the sea of Chinnereth eastward. And the border shall go down to the Jordan, and its goings out shall be at the salt sea. This shall be your land according to the borders of it round about. Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which you shall inherit by lot, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes, and to the half-tribe, for the tribe of the children of Reuben according to their fathers' houses, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to their fathers' houses, have received, and the half-tribe of Manasseh has received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan, at Jericho eastward toward the sunrise. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, These are the names of the men who shall divide the land to you for an inheritance: Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun. You shall take 1 prince of every tribe, to divide the land for inheritance. These are the names of the men: of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; of the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud; of the tribe of Benjamin, Eladad the son of Chislon; of the tribe of the children of Dan, a prince, Bukai the son of Joglai; of the children of Joseph; of the tribe of the children of Manasseh, a prince, Haniel the son of Ephod; of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, a prince, Kemuel the son of Shiftan; of the tribe of the children of Zebulun, a prince, Elzaphon the son of Parnach; of the tribe of the children of Issachar, a prince, Paltiel the son of Azan; of the tribe of the children of Asher, a prince, Ahihud the son of Shalomai; of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, a prince, Pedahel the son of Ammihud. These are they whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance to the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. Chapter 35. The Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give to the Levites of the inheritance of their possessions cities to dwell in, and suburbs for the cities round about them shall you give to the Levites. The cities shall they have to dwell in, and their suburbs shall be for their cattle, and for their substance, and for all their animals. The suburbs of the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be from the wall of the city, and outward 1,000 cubits round about. You shall measure outside of the city for the east side 2,000 cubits, and for the south side 2,000 cubits, and for the west side 2,000 cubits, and for the north side 2,000 cubits, the city being in the middle. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. The cities which you shall give to the Levites, they shall be the 6 cities of refuge, which you shall give for the manslayer to flee to, and besides them you shall give 42 cities. All the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall you give them with their suburbs. Concerning the cities which you shall give of the possessions of the children of Israel, from the many you shall take many, and from the few you shall take few. Every one according to his inheritance which he inherits shall give of his cities to the Levites. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer, who kills any person unwittingly, may flee there. The cities shall be to you for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer not die, until he stands before the congregation for judgment. The cities which you shall give shall be for you 6 cities of refuge. You shall give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and 3 cities shall you give in the land of Canaan. They shall be cities of refuge. For the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the foreigner living among them, shall these 6 cities be for refuge, that every one who kills any person unwittingly may flee there. But if he struck him with an instrument of iron so that he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. If he struck him with a stone in the hand, by which a man may die, and he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he struck him with a weapon of wood in the hand, by which a man may die, and he died, he is a murderer. the murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood shall himself put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If he stabs him out of hatred, or throws something at him while lying in wait so that he dies, or in enmity strikes him with his hand so that he dies, he who struck him shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. But if he injures him suddenly, without hatred, or throws something on him without lying in wait, or with any stone by which a man may die, not seeing him, cast it on him so that he dies, and he was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the striker and the avenger of blood according to these ordinances. And the congregation shall deliver the manslayer out of the hand of the avenger of blood. And the congregation shall restore him to his city of refuge, where he was fled, and he shall dwell therein until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the manslayer shall at any time go beyond the border of his city of refuge where he flees, and the avenger of blood find him outside of the border of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return into the land of his possession. These things shall be for a statute and an ordinance to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever kills any person, the murderer shall be slain at the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person that he die. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. You shall take no ransom for him who is fled to his city of refuge, that he may come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. So shall you not pollute the land in which you are. For blood, it pollutes the land, and no expiation can be made for the land for the blood that is shed in it, but by the blood of him who shed it. You shall not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. Chapter 36. The heads of the fathers' houses of the family of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near, and spoke before Moses, and before the princes, the heads of the fathers' houses of the children of Israel. And they said, The Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, to his daughters. If they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then will their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of our fathers, and will be added to the inhabitants of the tribe to which they shall belong. So will it be taken away from the lot of our inheritance. When the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall come, then will their inheritance be added to the inheritance of the tribe to which they shall belong. So will their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Lord, saying, The tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks right. This is the thing which the Lord does command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them be married to whom they think best, only into the family of the tribe of their father shall they be married. So shall no inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for the children of Israel shall cleave every one to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. Every daughter who possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife to one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may possess every man the inheritance of his fathers. So shall no inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, for the tribes of the children of Israel shall cleave every one to his own inheritance. Even as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to their father's brothers' sons. They were married into the families of the son of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the ordinances which the Lord commanded by Moses to the children of Israel in the plains of Moab, by the Jordan at Jericho.